pick one fight. What is the mega fight in the sport? Teofimo Lopez versus who in a couple of years or next year?
I don't even know. Devin Haney. I would say Devin Haney.
Who would you like to fight at? Obviously, some attractive options there at lightweight. Who would you like to fight the most?
I don't mind being the 2-time email world champion. You know what I mean? That'll be fine. You know, I know a lot of people are already saying that this is not for undisputed because of that. Whatever with Mauricio Suleiman and whatever he did, but I just got a belt that said franchise world champion. So from the WBC, and you got a guy like Devin Haney fighting Gamboa, a washed out Gamboa, just for a record that he wants to keep it safe and pretty. I can fight those guys. I don't mind it.
Do you think Haney would fight you next, assuming he beats Gamboa?
I don't care. I don't think any of these guys will step up to the plate. And if they do, they better be ready. Because I don't fear no man. I told you guys this. I don't care. I'm in there to fight. And if you're not there to fight with me, you're going to lose.
Thank
like
you.
Loma. Like, if I take that fight, it's just for bragging rights, just to shut him up and destroy his career. That's really what it is. I don't care. That's the type of person I am. I ain't here to I'm not here to see another fighter build up his career. If he wants to take that step and fight, I'm more than happy to just take him out that route of what everybody's talking about, saying the next Floyd Mayweather and stuff like that. Yeah, get out of here with that bullshit.
Teofimo Lopez is the one with the rest of the belts. So that's the main fight that I want to make happen.
But when it comes to Devin, I got to think about it. These guys, Devin has not a long way. He got like maybe 3 to 5 years to get to that point to where we can make that fight happen. 3 to 5 years to where we can make that fight happen. We're going to whoop his. We're going to make the fight happen. I tried to save his career. I did. Kid you not. I tried to protect his career. I told him, hey, 3 to 5 years, you know, work your way up. A lot of people are going to take this wrong. I try to take care of this man's career, but now, you know, he's gotten out of hand, and it kind of got me going now. So we're going to start pressing him on it. And me and my father already, we're all good on it. We're on the same page. So I believe Devin Haney will be next.
What needs to happen to make this fight be confirmed?
He needs to take the fight. Whether he gets 2 million or 3 million, he needs to take the fight. Devin Haney, none of these guys.
But in terms of Devin, since you're talking about him and you're asking what
it ain't gonna happen.
No,
it ain't gonna happen.
No, in terms, which is the fight that you want to happen at 35? Which one are you looking at?
Like I said, man, a lot of people can say whatever they want, but the dude actually fought his way to get his shot with me, and he has actually 2. So it is gonna be Kambosos.
It's a shame that almost that a 23-year-old young man will feel he could just, you know, piss on people's heads and tell them it's raining, and then everyone is supposed to just go along with it based on you being a fan of the Lopez's. So what I would ask of any of the fans, you know, that's really about this shit, say, you know, tell them that you believe in them and tell them to tell the truth and to get in the ring and represent all the shit that y'all be typing on the keyboard. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's unfair that, you know, you guys are talking, you guys show so much enthusiasm when it's just as easy as having him contact Mauricio Suleiman and telling him that he wants to be Devin's mandatory. You don't need to talk to you guys. You know, that's why when you come back and you're starting to talk to y'all and I don't have any problem. Well, brother, if you don't have a problem, then you call Mauricio Suleiman. Because we can't call Mauricio Suleiman about you, because we'd have called them about you just the way we called about Lomachenko. You see what I'm saying? And if Ryan Garcia wanted to call Mauricio about Devin, he could. You know, my phone ain't ringing. So when I look on the internet and hear the Teos and talk, and I don't hear Mauricio come up and say that, you know, yeah, well, we got a request from Teo to fight you, or we got a request from, there's another guy, Lomachenko. He can get it too.
Teo recently said when he told Devin to wait 3 to 5 years, he just wanted to build the fight and save his career. But because Devin keep pressing his buttons, he's going to fight him this year, either next or after Kambosos. What's your thoughts on him retracting his statements when it comes to 3 to half a decade until fighting Devin?
We don't be talking pressing Teo's buttons. We respectfully talk to his fans, you know, just like with no different than the Russell fans, no different than the Garcia fans, who are diehard, who respect and believe in what they believe in. So we don't go against them. We just want to, you know, let them get a glimpse into, you know, what we do and how we do it. You know what I mean? Once they get a chance to see Devin and see what he's all about, I'm more than certain they become fans of his. So, you know, the opportunity to showcase in front of, you know, knowledgeable boxing fans that follow one fighter or follow the other, you know, is always a great opportunity. And that's all that you can ask for, is an opportunity to showcase your skills in front of that fan base, you know, and hope that you put on a hell of a performance on that night.
So as far as his comment, he's not going to push off the fight 3 to 5 years. You take him for his word. You think he's going to fight him next?
Like I said, it's not next. It's now.
It's now. Well, Devin said Teo franchise witness protection is in full effect. So if Teo is sincere, does that mean Teo is going to stop paying for that witness protection and let that franchise title go to get the real WBC title?
You know, I have no idea of having the franchise designation when you don't designate it. You know, I want to see an instance where Canelo has used the franchise designation. I want to see where Teofimo and how Teofimo uses the franchise designation, other than using Mauricio to convolute the message or convolute the fight from happening anymore. Because when you say, well, he's this or he's that, and you're saying that he's a franchise champion and he represents the franchise, well, if we represent the WBC, then we want to make the biggest fight happen for the WBC. And guess what? I don't see how Kambosos can be the biggest fight for the WBC if he's not in the WBC.
Yeah, well, have you seen Teofimo new watch?
You got a picture of his watch? You know what? Actually, I saw a guy down the street with the same watch on earlier today. I was what's the name? It's a little watch, right? Is it like this one?
How did you choose Lomachenko? Because
I did not choose him. He requested, Canelo requested. So we sent out a vote and we analyzed his history.
Ooh, Canelo and Lomachenko requested?
Absolutely.
Ooh, you just made headlines.
Lomachenko.
You just made headlines.
Lomachenko, top rank, requested. And let me tell you, we analyzed the request. Top of the top.
Define the franchise belt. Can you define it?
The franchise is not a belt. It's not a championship. It's a designation given to elite, unique fighters who carry the industry of the sport of boxing. Canelo Alvarez and Lomachenko are two sensational fighters who carry the industry.
Ask Cameron Duncan, do Top Rank have like columns of fighters, and they say, we don't want this guy fighting the black fighter, we don't want this fighter fighting the Mexican fighter, and so on and so forth?
You're gonna get into the racial stuff, huh?
No, I'm not. I'm asking.
That's a theory there by the greatest matchmaker, probably, in my opinion, ever. And I'm not going to mention his name either, but you know what I'm talking about. And he used to have a thing up on his board, NBF, no black fighters. And when I was taught to bring up a fighter, you know, and again, it's just, he used to say to me, you can go anywhere in the country, and I'm going to leave it at this. I don't want to go into a long discussion because people are people in God's eyes, and we're all the same. He used to say to me, you can go anywhere into a city in America or anywhere in the world and ask a white guy, and he didn't say any other, he didn't say anything about Hispanic, anything. Ask a white guy to throw a jab, and half of them are going to turn backwards and throw it like a girl and everything. Ask any black man on a street corner in any city in the world, and they will snap out a jab in a heartbeat.
Mm-hmm.
And I used to laugh. He said, they're just more physically gifted. And he said, and so they have speed and better to stay away from them. Nothing personal. So I said, okay. And I've lived by that. And, you know, I don't want to sound like some weird guy, but, you know, you're trying to be safe with your guys. And so, yeah, there is a thing about that, you know, but not in a bad way, in a very respectful way, you know, to be careful. So that's all.
The masked man even said they doing that to protect him.
Right.
Somebody beat him, but they don't get a belt.
There you go.
The franchise belt is protect them from the big black guys.
So you would favor Devin Haney to beat Vasily Lomachenko?
And with the fighter, I'm only going to put him in a fight that I believe that he can win, right? So I don't know how to answer that question.
Did you say you would only put your fighter in a position where, in a fight where he can win?
Where I believe he could win. Yeah, I don't put a fighter in where he has no chance and he's just in there for a payday for me and him. I don't do that.
So is it more about how you
I don't put a fight out. That again goes back to Leonard Ellaby. What he was trying to say. It's risk reward.
Right. So if you were in a situation where you felt like, I'm going to just use hypotheticals. If you thought that Devin Haney was a bad matchup for Teofimo Lopez, in essence, you wouldn't make that fight because you didn't want to put Teofimo in a situation where you felt like he couldn't win. Is that what I'm hearing?
Only if, I mean, you sometimes make a fight because if let's say the fighter has a 40% chance of winning. So he's like, in your mind, an underdog. If the reward is great, you make that fight. It's risk reward.